Hi, and welcome to the ACME tool. Thank you for taking the time to learn about a resource that we hope can make the planning and evaluation of your medical programs easier, and perhaps even a bit more enjoyable. In this short podcast, we will briefly review how the ACME tool came to be, what we hope it can do for you, and we will spend a few minutes exploring the tool. But first, an introduction. My name is Leah Harper, and I'm a transplant respirologist and medical educator at the University of Calgary. Together with my colleague and co-founder, Dr. Kevin McLaughlin, a transplant nephrologist and medical educator, we created the ACME tool. The tool first came about after Kevin and I noticed that the evaluation of medical programs, something critically important to the maintenance and improvement of programs, was not being done, or if it was done as an afterthought. Through discussions and exploration, we realized that evaluation, something we deeply value and actually enjoy, was felt to be difficult, challenging, time-consuming, and often only done if required. When we tried to figure out why this was the case, we realized there are a few important barriers to consider. First, the existing models of program evaluation were not actually designed for the medical education context, or if they were not designed with complexity theory in mind. We believe that medical education should be viewed as a complex adaptive system. Next, models that do exist seem daunting if you're not familiar with them. And lastly, there is no tool out there to help you actually perform your program evaluation. The intention of the ACME tool is to fill this gap. The tool makes things easier by offering an online interactive model that can guide clinicians and educators and by providing curated resources. Because it encourages a cycle of ongoing program evaluation and the tool prompts the identification of unanticipated outcomes, it better aligns with complexity theory, which we believe medical education should be viewed through. Now let's check it out. Go to www.theacmetool.ca. When you arrive, you'll see that the ACME tool is a 5-phase interactive tool that you can work through at your own pace. At any time, you can come back to the tool and your work will be saved. It breaks down the process into 5 phases. The first phase is defining the need. This is where you'll do your needs assessment. The next is gauging readiness. This is where you'll see if you'll have the needed resources to actually execute your program. Next is your program interventions, then your program delivery, and lastly, your program evaluation. As you work through these stages, you'll also run into curated resources that can help you master the concepts in each of these phases. When completed, you'll be provided with a heat map, which simply reflects the summary of your responses to your questions. To be clear, this is not a judgment, and the goal is not to get the highest score or all the components to be completed. This is simply a reflection of where you are at your program. Not all programs will need each component within the tool either, while some programs should have all of them. This is simply a way to show where you're at, and over time can be used to track to see how you've improved your program through addressing more components, if those components are indeed relevant. Lastly, there is an easy way to ask questions, provide feedback, and reach out for further consultation if needed. Kevin, myself, and our entire team are excited to work with you in making your program better. We hope that you enjoy the tool. Thank you for taking the time to learn about it and for taking the time and effort to create and evaluate high-quality medical education programs.